freedom fighter, a metal worker, a shop steward, a comrade and leader, a people's person taken by COVID-19. It poured with rain as longtime comrade, Deputy President Didi Mabuza, paid his last respects as Mthembu's final resting place. A man described as incorruptible and fearless.
Movement that ended up developing within the ANC in support of the former president started in Mpumalanga. The Friends of JZ movement started in Mpumalanga, and the person who started that initiative was Jackson Mthembu. He is one person who, when he believed in the correctness of his views, was able to generate momentum around his views and around sentiments that he thought must be promoted. At the time, Comrade Jackson was convinced that it was the best decision for the movement to put in the presidency the former president. And he did everything possible to mobilize our province in support of that decision. Beyond Polokwane, Jackson has demonstrated a quality which very few of us have, which is that he's one person who was forever chasing the truth, forever wanting to do the best. And when there were shortcomings in the performance of the presidency, Jackson did not say, because the decision to put in place in the presidency this one comrade was an initiative that I championed, I will not be seen among those who are critical about the way the organization is performing. He was up there with those who were saying, comrades, we need to do something. We need to do something to correct the weaknesses that the organization was beginning to show.
And his service to the people again recalled. When many ANC leaders chose to go to the suburbs, Mthembu stayed with the people.
He's one person that brought me from age 13. I remember some of the words that he always said is that a public servant is someone that must be like a doormat, that anyone removes all dirt from his shoes. Even dogs must actually sit and pee there. Public servants and politicians, that's what he said, must not regard themselves as clouds that give us rain, but they must always be humble. They must be where ants are. They must always be where the masses of the people are, because that is what will elevate them.
His respect for colleagues also remembered.
He allowed me space. I never felt like a deputy minister. But what is more important is that we're going to miss him leading up front about COVID. South Africans have seen him talking about the pandemic, sanitizing, and leading the press conferences and communicating. Every time after the president called what you call a family meeting, the minister would lead a delegation of ministers to come and tell South Africans what they're going to do. I'm going to miss that. But I'm also going to miss his bubbly self. I would come to work frustrated about my own things, and then he would say to me, "What is wrong?" And then he make jokes about it. I'm literally, we've lost a bubbly, knowledgeable, very friendly human being who is very loving. But we are going to miss him calling South Africans to sanitize, wear your mask, be responsible, social distancing, and talking about COVID.
As his coffin was lowered into the ground, his wife, grief-stricken over her loss, difficult journeys await, overcoming the pain and winning the fight against the pandemic. Samkele Maseko, SABC News, Emalahleni, Mpumalanga.